So I just see a lot of people contradicting Femitheist, proclaiming that she should not have a voice simply because it's hate speech. What a convenient ploy. When you don't like something and you don't have the power in and of yourself to silence somebody, unlike moderators, you say that the person in question is touting hate speech, hoping that the moderators will swoop down and do the censorship for you. So essentially, you have chosen your God. You are idol worshiping. And I hope you realize if any of you are Christians, you will go to hell. There is no place in the afterlife or in the new world or whatever denomination you believe in that there's people that worship man as though they were God. You are putting your faith in men to smite the wicked. You are putting your faith in men to make things right, and you're putting your faith in something less than God, both morally and spiritually. So, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is the fact that the arguments against Femitheist are so paper thin, it's fucking ridiculous. If you want to think that Femitheist is wrong, then think that, but have something to back it up with. If you're going to say that Femitheist is touting hate speech, how so? Is she not correct that the elite are men? I mean, let's just be realistic here. You want to blame the government, for example. How many women are in government? You want to blame the international bankers. How many women are in control of the international bank? You want to blame the rich? How many rich women are there? How many women are there in general in any position of power, be it church, government, businesses, whatever? There is none. There is no women in that position of power. So therefore, how can women be in charge of everything? The MRA's argument is that women have created some kind of post-feminist hegemony, that men are seen as the inferior gender in conclusion to women, and that, we're just presumed to be rapists and violent and things like that. But if women are not the ones in power, then who is that benefiting? In other words, if men are the one controlling the women hegemony, then how are you blaming women for the hegemony? The result is because of rich, powerful white men that want it to be that way in order to benefit them and their power structure. So it still comes back to men. It always comes back to men. Ever since the dawn of fucking time, it has come back to men. It has always been men that have wanted the power and wanted the glory and wanted to kill their enemies and wanted to conquer and rule. It's part of our biological nature, and it's why we've survived for so long. Unfortunately, it's going to be what kills us as well. Nowadays, the most natural predator to another human being is another human being, which I think is ironic that you put so much faith in your moderator overlord to fucking look out for you, but meanwhile, they're your fucking predator. They're the ones that want to devour you and kill you and fucking rule over you and piss all over you. And they do it every day. It's not like some what if scenario. That's the way it is. Your life sucks. You have no freedom. You have nothing. Absolutely nothing. Your life is fucking terrible. But meanwhile, you want to blame women? Why? Because women won't have sex with you? Because women think you're gross or creepy? Because typically it is men who statistically rape underage children. It's men that do most of the violent sexual crimes. It is men who are typically impatient, egotistical, and maniacal in the sense of those kinds of crimes. Am I saying that women never commit crimes? No. What I'm saying is the kind of crimes you're talking about, the kind of crimes that you're pissed off that men are always assumed to be doing, are the kinds of crimes men are usually the ones doing. So, yes, if 5 out of 6 sort of people do something, mathematically you can assume, well, that's where it's going to lean. That's just scientific. In the scientific field, we don't go, well, because there was a fluke chance that it couldn't happen, I guess we'll never know. No, you go by statistical evidence. That's how we came up with the theory of gravity and evolution. Yes, there are chinks in the chain. There are variables to consider. But far and wide, we know that men are typically more violent, more hostile, more aggressive, and more interested in power and authority. It just comes with their biological nature. And nobody is saying that that doesn't have a role to play in human evolution. But what Femitheist is saying is that we cannot survive like that. Now that we live in a modern society, that sort of mentality does not work. And she is offering a solution. And if you don't agree with her solution, then list why. Point out the flaws in it, Tell her what you think. Tell her that you think, well, it's not really men's nature that's the problem. It's this or it's that. Personally, I can't find any flaws in Timotheus' argument. And yes, everyone likes to say, well, you're a man. You could get your balls cut off. I got news for you. My balls were cut off fucking years and years ago. I never had the opportunity. I never had the luxury to exist with my balls intact. My entire life has been one enslavement after another, getting pushed around by fucking moderators and treated like shit. I never got to live my life, and I probably never will get to live my life. So what the fuck do I care if Femitheus wants to cut off the balls of men, or, put eugenics in place that lower the male population? All I can see that as is a benefit, because I do see how people are like, and far and wide what Femitheus says is true. It is usually 5 out of 6 times that men are the ones in positions of power. Men are the moderators. And they desire those positions of power so that they can do violent, despicable things because they want to be better than everybody else. They don't simply want to exist. They don't simply want to, make something nice for everybody. They don't simply want to be happy and intelligent and flourish. They actually want to be overbearing toward other people. They actually want to pin them down and fuck them. That is the nature of a lot of men out there. Does that mean all men are like that? No. But there is so many of them out there like that it affects the social stratosphere. And that can't be denied. You cannot deny the fact that if 5 out of 6 men are like that, it's going to affect the superorganism. And until you realize that fact, until you accept it and then do something about it, those 5 out of 6 are going to continue to rape us and continue to kill us and continue to pee on us. So you have to stop making excuses for it. You have to stop making excuses for the moderators. You have to stop making excuses for the men. You have to stop making excuses for the rapists and the murderers and the war criminals and everything else. It's not going to go away. And they're not going to not attack you just because you don't look at them directly in the eye. They're going to hurt you. They want to come after you. They may just haven't done so yet because they haven't found the time. They have another victim to prowl upon. But they care nothing of you. Very few people do. And that's what Femitheist is getting at. And that's completely true. So how is that hate speech? What about that exactly is hate speech? How can you even conceive the idea that anything can be hate speech in a world that primarily runs on hate? The very fact is that our lives suck ass. We live to die. We get up in the morning to go slave away at a job we do not like. And then, after a tiring 8 or 9 hours, we come back hobbling back to bed, maybe eat something, take a shit, then we go to bed, then we get up and do the same thing over again, and again, and again, and again, until eventually we just can't physically do it anymore. Then they don't even want to take care of us. We're fucking old, we're tired, we did all this for them. We gave them all of our labor so that they could be in those positions of power, so that society could continue to flourish and continue to prosper, and they don't even want to fucking take care of us. They expect us to have kids to take care of us, and things like that. And, if something happens, oh well, fuck us, but they still expect us to go to work every day. They still expect us not to stab people with a steak knife. They still expect us to function as though we're slaves, even though they would not exist without us. They are fucking parasites. I'm running close to 10 minutes here, but I think you get my point. Fact is, this world is hateful and wretched and wrong, and you have to reject it. That's what your Bible teaches you. That's what any decent person will teach you. See you later.